So I came up with my characters straight from my Gifted Girls. All of my Gifted Girls that I had enrolled in the program at the time are represented in my book. You guys mentioned hair a lot, but that was something I was very intentional with when I was designing the book, because I self-published and I also illustrated the entire book. But throughout the book, I wanted my girls to see themselves. We have different hair textures, we have braids, we have dreads, I even have a little girl who's Muslim and she wears the hijab. Why don't we see that in the books? So I threw that in there. So my characters were inspired by real life Gifted Girls. To understand my whole creative process, you have to just get a little glimpse of my life. I work 2 full-time jobs while running my business full-time. And I'm big on self-care. I don't care how much I work during the day, how many hours I work. 1 hour is dedicated to my self-care. And my self-care most days are going to the gym. And so by the time I come home and cook dinner and everything, I pass out. So where do I have time to write a book? 3 o'clock in the morning, ever since I was a little girl. My grandmother used to call it my witching hours. 3 o'clock in the morning, I am the most creative. So when I got the idea to start the book, I woke up one night, 3 o'clock in the morning, burst of energy. I'm like, because I thought about the book a few times, but I never started it. I'm like, right now is the time. I'm gonna start with one eye open. Literally had one eye open, turned the brightness down on my phone, opened up the notes app, and got to typing. And then I did that for 2 months. And then before I realized, I had the story written. So then it was like, okay, I could reach out to a few people and see if they could illustrate for me. But then I thought about it more. I was like, this is my book. This is my story. I have the IT background. I have the Photoshop background. I can figure this out. So I literally slept with my iPad in my bed on the other side of the bed, because at 3 o'clock in the morning when I would wake up with this burst of energy, I'd grab the iPad and my Apple Pen and I'd get to drawing. So that was my creative process, just waiting for God to wake me up at 3 o'clock and here you go. A lot of how we all suffered from self-doubt while doing the whole process of publishing the book. But self-doubt is one thing. It's when everybody else is doubting you. So both of my parents, they had drug problems when I was growing up as a child. Even into my early 20s, they both had drug problems. And just coming from that stigma of 2 parents dealing with their own issues, nobody had high expectations of me. And then when I would start doing things or talking about things I would do, it'd get that side look like, you sure? How you gonna do that? Where's your support coming from? So I wanted especially with this whole self-publishing the book, I wanted my girls, specifically my Gifted Girls, to see that it doesn't matter what anybody says or who doubts you, as long as you know you can do it, you can do it. That's right. I wanted my Gifted Girls and girls that look like me and grown up in situations like me to feel represented. My most proud moment was when my 4-year-old niece, she was reading my book. My sister recorded it for me. And she's reading the story and I'm already crying watching the video, because I'm like, look at my baby, she can read, she's 4. And this book is not aged for early readers, it's aged for early readers. So 1st to 2nd grade. So the fact that my 4-year-old niece could read these words were amazing. But then at the end of the video, she flips back to the front and she's because my sister was making a promo video, she's like, the Gifted Girls Club by Takaya Morales, and then it hit her. She's like, wait, my auntie? My auntie wrote this book? So then she calls me on FaceTime and she's like, auntie, you wrote a book for me? And I was just hysterical, because that was the moment I wanted. That was my most proud moment.